boy. Well, and we're live. Welcome to episode 22, Peeling the Banana. And today we have my second softball player overseas. My first was Sarah Edwards, but I am happy to welcome Alicia Peters. Oh, no!
Hello.
That's all right. Things happen. We make it work. But anyway, Alicia, thank you for joining the show. On the best platform, the No Filter Network. Thanks to Eric Burns and his crew. Yeah, welcome. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Just working with an iPad that won't stand
Struggling
up
with
straight.
yeah.
But you know what? That's what podcasts are for, especially on this. We're just doing it raw and organic and unfiltered. Uh, but we'll see where this takes us. Let's start off. You're in Europe, right? You're in Italy.
I am, yes.
How did you get there? The obvious answer being by airplane, of course, unless you took a
Yeah,
cruise over
of
there.
course.
But
Yeah.
how did your professional career in Europe start in Italy?
Um, well, this team kind of just reached out to me. I was looking to play somewhere. And they reached out to me last year actually when I was getting done in Australia playing. But something came up and I chose to go a different route. I got an invite out to spring training for the US League, so I went there. Um, and then yeah, this time around they asked me again and I decided to come. And it's been going good so far.
So what was the USA thing last year?
So the WPF Women's Pro Fast Pitch, it's like one of I think right now it's one of three US professional leagues. There's two others. But yeah, so last year I had a good year in Australia. Good enough where I got an invite out there. I ended up tearing my Achilles the first day of practice. So it did not pan out very well for me. But yeah, it was like a dream come true because I do want to get back to that level eventually, the top spot in world of softball. But yeah, now I'm just taking a different route. So now I'm out here in Italy, first season back from post Achilles.
Okay, and you're still young, right? I see that
I am,
you're only 25.
yes, 25.
Okay, 25, out of college for 2 years.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
What was your college route like? Because I looked you up a little bit. You went to University of Buffalo, and then you finished at
Yeah.
University of Wisconsin Green Bay.
Yeah.
And you had one hell of a senior season, winning
Thank you. Yeah.
Horizon League Player of the Year. Um, but tell me a little bit about your college years and why the transfer and,
Yeah.
any, stuff like that.
Yeah. I actually started at a junior college out of high school. So I wasn't really heavily recruited. Honestly, there was some stuff going on in my life, like off softball field, where I kind of just stopped caring about everything. And
Mm,
junior college ended up being my only route possible. So I went to Sierra Junior College. I was with them for about a year. And then during that summer, I was playing some travel ball and I started getting some offers in. So I was like, I don't want to go back for a second year at junior college when I can have 3 years. I have 4 year compared to a 2 year if I stay here. So I ended up redshirting and some things happened where I was going to transfer to this school and I didn't have my associate's degree yet. And it's like one of the top, not an Ivy League, but it's up there with the Ivy Leagues. So
so
they
wait,
basically told
you're going to
me,
transfer from the JC to Buffalo?
no, 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 this is a completely different school.
Okay, okay.
Buffalo was a school that would offer me after my first year. I mean, like they kept offering me and I kept saying no just because I didn't want to be in the cold. I didn't like the snow. I didn't want to
Hmm.
be in New York.
Nobody
It
does.
wasn't where I was looking to go. Yeah. So then it was a different school had offered me because, like I said, I was playing travel ball during that summer after my first year in junior college. I did really good in front of some college scouts. I had some offers to two schools that are very, very hard to get into academically. And because I didn't have my associates, admissions wouldn't let me in on like an athlete pass, basically. So then I ended up going to Buffalo.
And then,
I was from 20 to 21. There was a coach. have nothing but love for University of Buffalo. I had a horrible experience though. I immediately knew I wanted to transfer. So I really wanted to transfer after my first year. And I
But
kind
you
of talked
stuck it
to
out
my old
two
coach,
more.
and I did. I did. It was not the plan at all. I stuck it out just mainly because I didn't transfer after my first year. I was like, had a lot of people telling me, like, you're on a very high scholarship, you're a position player, you probably won't get that somewhere else. It's a very good education. I think you should stay. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe it gets better. It gets worse. And then COVID happens. Thank God for COVID because I was going to lose my mind. And so then I was like, okay, well, I can't transfer now. Everyone and their mother's in the portal right now. Everyone wants another year back.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, hey, I'm sticking it out for another year. At least I have 2 more years of eligibility still. So I finished up in 21. And as soon as season's over, I put my name in the portal. And yeah, Green Bay was just a very good deal. It was the kind of thing where it's like, we can give you your scholarship for this year plus a year after you graduate. You'll be a GA basically. So you can finish out your master's program debt free, which I was like, yeah, it's still Division 1. It's a competitive program. When I was there, we were pretty good. And I'll finish up my master's, which was the goal. So I went to Green Bay and I had a good year. I worked my ass off for that year, and it all paid off. But yeah,
I
that was
mean,
the
I can see
college
that.
years.
I can see the numbers on paper. I mean, I had to do my
Yeah.
research before meeting you, officially, unofficially, online.
Yeah, yeah.
And get a little bit of background. But you had one hell of a year. Now, are you originally from Wisconsin?
I'm from California originally, Chico, California. So like a
California
real small
girl.
town. No one knows it except for, people that
So
are
you
fans of
didn't want to
Aaron
go to Chico
Rodgers.
State?
No, nope, nope.
The
I
first,
wanted to
go
get out
ahead.
of Chico since I was youngin. I mean, like since I picked up a softball, I was like, this is my ticket out of this town. Like, I did not like it. I have nothing but love for Chico, but from afar, it is not for me.
First time I heard of Chico State, I was going to a Stanford University baseball camp back in like
Yeah,
2006 maybe,
yeah,
2007. And one of the coaches I was helping the camp was from Chico State. So that's the first time I'd
yeah,
ever heard of Chico State. And then I would hear it every once in a while,
yeah,
going through high school, and you got your counselors talking about colleges.
yeah.
But
Of course,
that's about it. Other than that,
they have good programs like baseball and softball. I actually never got recruited by them until I signed my letter of intent, going to Buffalo. Like I was just out practicing at
that's
one of the
always
local
how it is.
fields. Yeah, and the coach like was just walking around. She sees me practicing. She comes up, she's like, "Hey, like, what year are you?" I'm like talking to her. I was like, "Oh, I'm junior college. Like, I'm about to leave junior college." She's like, "Oh, like, are you committed?" Yeah, I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Are you from here?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Why did I ever recruit you?" I was like, "I don't know. Like, I've been in your town since I
Yeah,
was
you
born.
tell
I don't
me.
know."
You tell
I
me.
was
I
like,
was
"I'm
born
18
here.
years here."
You're a little late to the party. You snooze, you lose, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I always thought that was funny. Right
I
before
think
I'm
it's
about to leave.
cool. Yeah, I think it's cool that your problems off the field, then going to Buffalo, you had some whatever problems you had, some adversity. I think it's cool. You stick it out. COVID happens, you stick that out. You play one more year, and then you end up at Green Bay, and you're like top player in the league. Break the school home run record. So the cool thing is you overcome adversity, you overcome many
Yeah,
challenges, and look at where you are now, playing overseas,
yeah,
playing professionally. You got to play for one of the top USA professional softball teams or leagues, I should say. And then unfortunately, with the Achilles and now your first year back, I mean, you're not alone. That's all I gotta say. I've kind of gone through the same thing with injuries, off-field problems, other
yeah,
priorities probably, and other goals and dreams of like, do I quit softball? I hate the game. Maybe I can go do something else. And look at where you are
yeah,
now. And that's really cool. I mean, you're persistent. You've been disciplined. I read some of those letters of recommendation on the BBJL site, and each coach just said you have a great work ethic. So that
yeah,
journey really relates to a bunch of athletes out there. And if you're any athlete out
yeah,
there, highly suggest you don't quit. Keep going. Our life is short. Do exactly what you love and love doing, waking up to do, because that's where Alicia's at.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at in year 13 of professional baseball, and now I'm overseas. So I applaud you for that. I mean, that is
thank
so
you.
cool. Now, what I was trying
Thanks.
to
Yeah.
look it up, but I can't read Italian. What team are you playing for?
I'm playing for Macerata. It's in like
And
Le Marche.
and like, is that East Coast, West Coast, North, South?
It is gonna be Eastern, like, here's Italy, you got like Rome right here, go across to the eastern side, and that's where I'm at right now.
Well, I'll have to pull up a map after this, but
Yeah.
are you how far from Rome are you?
It's a 3 hour drive from Rome.
Like if you had a car or if you were to take like a
Yeah.
transportation bus.
It's
Okay.
if you have a car, it's 3 hours.
And is there only one professional softball league in Italy, or is there like a north one, a south one, and you guys
Yeah,
play playoffs, or how does that work?
yeah. So from my understanding, there's A1, which is the league I'm playing in, and then it goes down from there. So there's like an A2, and then the younger ones as well. But I mean, it's pretty competitive out here, especially, each team will have like national team members. There's some of their girls that went to the Olympics. And then you have a
Hmm.
lot of import players like myself. We have a few girls from Cuba out here as imports, not on my team, on the other teams.
Okay.
Some Australians. So, I mean, it's pretty competitive, and you go through the whole season trying to make top four, and then top four play for the championship in September.
Oh, okay. So our league changed to top four teams out of an 18 league. Last year it was top six. So
Yeah,
they're trying to
yeah.
make the season a little more competitive, whereas teams,
Mhm.
each game means something. Whereas last year, and what I'm hearing from other coaches is like last year, teams really wouldn't care to, win or lose, but now every game is an incentive. Like it could be the game that decides
Yeah,
fourth place, fifth place,
exactly.
kind of thing, and even seeding when you make the top four teams and home field advantage.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
what's the difference of competition from Italy, Australia, and what you played in the U.S.?
Um, I would definitely say Australia is on the lower side of the spectrum of competitiveness. I mean, like Australia, you practice once a week, and
Okay.
practices are about an hour and a half. So it's not very competitive. I mean, you definitely have girls that are like national team members, and you have some imports over there, so they're going to be very competitive. But then you also have girls that are just there socially. For
Hmm.
me, I really didn't want to go to Australia just because I knew it was not going to be very competitive, and I
Right.
like the high intensity. But after college, I tried out for one of the other U.S. leagues. I got put on their alternate list. Like someone gets hurt, someone drops out, I get pulled up,
Hmm.
kind of thing. And after talking to them, they're like, "You just need to go get some stats somewhere, and then we'll try again next year." I was like, "Okay." And it was just so late. Europe was over. There's no U.S. league going on then. So I'm like, where can I go? And I reach out to softball jobs overseas, like Australia. I was like, okay, I'm going to
Right.
Australia then.
Because their summer is
So
our winters, so it's like you're
yeah,
able to
exactly.
play.
So it's the
What is the
opposite.
season there? Is it the same as baseball? I think like October to February,
Yes.
March.
Yeah.
And
So
then
yeah, I was there from October, and I think I left around, yeah, March. Got to be something like that. Maybe April, actually. I was there for a while. But
and
yeah.
you're
So I
in
mean,
what part?
I was in South Australia, in Adelaide.
Okay. So is
Yeah.
that team has any affiliation with the ABL team, the Adelaide what is it, Giants, I
Yes,
think?
the Adelaide Giants. Yeah. When I was there, they won like the ABL for the first time in like 50 something years, like something
Damn.
crazy. So that was really cool to see. Yeah.
No.
Um, but yeah.
Now with BBJO and Australia, was that a BBJO thing that you got recruited to Australia through
I
them
did.
or the
Yeah.
SBJL? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, from the SBJL, yeah. So I reached out to them, and they kind of helped me, and they started like helping me understand the overseas playing, and how to go about it, the contracts, like everything.
Hmm. My only regret with BBJL in that whole business was I never did it earlier because I've always wanted to play
Hmm.
overseas or play winter ball, and
Yeah.
I've heard about it maybe since 2017 or 18,
Hmm.
but I always thought my resume stats was good enough to, just be
Yeah.
that player that reaches out to a team or a coach or ask a
Yeah.
friend that's been there in that league overseas
Yeah.
anywhere and just be
It's
like, hey,
not
can you?
though.
But it's not. And,
Not at
that's,
all.
I wouldn't say one thing I regret. It's more one thing that I learned, like, you know what, it's better to
Yeah.
use your resources that is out there to make
Oh,
life a little
absolutely.
easier, So,
Yeah.
um,
No, I
I'm
mean, it's
thankful
honestly about
for,
who you know.
yeah. I mean, and I thought I knew the right people, and you know, it only took me 6, 7 years to get overseas. But I mean, everything's on purpose, right? Everything happens for
Amen.
a reason. I was, able to
Yeah.
off-season jobs, focus on other priorities after baseball for every off-season. Um, and then I got the opportunity for this year, and now I'm in the Czech Republic playing in their top league, the Extra Liga. And my team is currently in first place. It's a three-way tie, but we'll see what
Hmm.
happens after this weekend.
Yeah.
We got 3 games, and some of the other teams are playing against some of the other tough opponents in first and second place. So
Yeah.
it should be a good weekend. Now, do you guys only play weekends? Because we only play weekends and we practice
No.
twice a week.
Yeah. No. It depends. Like this past sometimes Saturday game, sometimes Sunday, doubleheader though. And practice is like 3 days a week right now. And then, if you want to go extra, they give us keys and you just go whenever.
Now, what do you do on? So it sounds like you're basically practicing or playing 5 days a week.
Yeah.
About what are you doing for the
Hmm.
other 2 days? Are you traveling? Like this is your first time in Europe, so
Yeah, it is my first time. Yeah.
are you exploring?
So
Are you in a big
far,
city, small city, a village?
no. So our city's pretty small for sure. I mean, like I feel like I've walked around the whole perimeter of it and it's only taken me an hour and a half. So it's
Okay.
small. I basically on my off days, I'll sleep in, go to the gym kind of thing. And then I'll just walk around. I'll find a restaurant to try some new food. Um, we go down to the park sometimes. But yeah, I mean, it's a very laid back lifestyle here. So nothing too crazy. We've gone to the beach a few times, which is pretty close
Oh,
by, so that's nice.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I know
kind of
you're
stuck in the
landlocked
middle
right
of nowhere.
now.
Yeah, I'm landlocked.
Yeah.
Um, got
I remember
Poland to my
in
north,
Australia.
Germany to my left, and
Yeah.
Austria
In
south. So
Australia,
I'm
there
just
was there was two guys from the Czech in Australia, and they loved the beach. I mean, they lived at the beach, and they would say like, "We never get this. Like, we're landlocked. There's nothing. There's maybe a lake.
hmm
That's it."
a small lake or a dirty river.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's it. So, um, shoot, I hope I have the opportunity to play in Italy. I mean, I even just hope I'm going year to year, for my however long I
Yeah.
can play. But my goal right now is to play overseas as long as I can and everywhere that I can. So
Yeah.
BBJL, I don't know if softball side has it, but the BBJL there's like Finkston ball, or they would play in the European
There is.
League
Yeah.
Championships.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to
Yeah.
find ways to get involved with all of that too, just to
Yeah, I know they
travel.
actually just put out a message in our softball group chat about the Flickin' Zone tournament thing. They're trying to find players right now. I mean, it seems
And
like a
and
cool
and that's a
opportunity for
softball
sure.
one, right? That's a softball one, or is
Yes,
this the
there's a
same
softball one and
one
then there's a
that the base?
baseball.
Okay, so where's the softball
It's
one?
the same one, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Same
it's the
one.
same,
I think the baseball you guys call yourself like the Globetrotters or
right?
something like that.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But is that softball and baseball, or is there a baseball one separate in another city and then softball's in another city?
I want
Or
to
is
say
this
it's the
together?
same
Because I don't
city.
know.
I think it's together. I don't know either because it's
Oh,
my first time in Europe.
okay.
But I think it's together.
And I think the city is Atnang. I don't know if it's Australia or, I mean, not Australia, Austria.
Austria.
It
Yeah,
is,
Austria.
right? Okay. Okay,
Yeah, it's
so
Austria.
it would be the
Yeah.
same. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's in I think like 10 days. Not this weekend, but
it is. It's
next
coming
weekend.
up. It's coming some it's coming up. I know.
Yeah, it's
But
next
yeah,
weekend and we have games. You would obviously probably have to fly and then catch a bus.
I would.
I'm trying to figure out transportation, bus, train, um, just to see if I can
Yeah.
make the last 2 days or something. Um, but I think that's really cool what BBJO does and try to form teams with a lot of imports and for softball and the baseball is find cities and get more people involved in the game of softball and baseball. Because I mean, America, it's almost like baseball and softball, other than maybe football, is like a religion. Like you're starting early, you're starting at 4 or 5
Hmm.
years old. Here, it's like it's almost as far as Czech, I don't know about Italy, but here it's almost like a hobby. Like everyone goes to school, goes to work, maybe
Yeah.
practice once or twice, and then you play on the weekend. So it's like it's not such a big thing yet, but I can tell it's growing and guys are getting more and more competitive and want to put in the work when they have the time.
Yeah.
So
Well, definitely in Czech, especially after their nationals team run in the
that
WPBC. I mean, it's definitely grown since then, I've seen.
yeah. Oh, no doubt. I think any world baseball ba- any team that qualifies for the WBC gets a lot
Yeah.
more recognition, a lot more money into that sport. And
Yeah,
so for
exactly.
Czech, it's been huge because literally every field here in Czech has a WBC banner or like sponsors along their
Hmm.
fences. We have a national team pitcher,
Hmm.
and we just faced the one of the national team pitchers that struck out Otani.
Oh
So,
my gosh, wow.
yeah. So, I mean, in this league, we do face a bunch of the national team guys because this is what they do. They play in the top Czech league and then they go and play uh, with 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 the national team. And the cool part is we have
Yeah.
guys that are 16 on our team and they're on like the 23-year-old national team or the 18 national team.
Hmm.
Um, so the cool thing is like guys are playing at the top level at such a young age.
They are,
You
yeah.
know.
Well, especially, overseas, they don't, because they don't have club ball. There's no college
Hmm.
scholarship you're going to get here, for the university. So it's either national team or nothing, basically, if you want to be competitive.
Right? Like isn't that so weird? Like we go to school. Once we hit
Yeah.
high school, we played a sport at that high school, and same as
Yeah.
college. Whereas here, your high school and college, there are no sports. It's clubs outside of that,
Yeah.
and
No, for sure. I
it's
remember
just
like talking
crazy.
to some parents in Australia because I would do camps and clinics for the youngers. And the parents were like, well, I just don't understand, like, why would I put my kid in softball? Like, what's the benefit of it? I was like, well, I mean, they can get a scholarship. She's like, okay, so then I have to send my kid to America so she can get a tuition paid for. Then she'll have to come back here, do college again because that degree doesn't count here.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, well, maybe she can go to the Olympics. She's like, well, what does that pay? I was like, yeah, you're right, actually. I don't know what to tell you other than it's fun and it's good life skills you're going to learn.
yeah. It's customs culture is so different here
Yeah,
because it's
it
like, well, what's
is.
the point of playing a sport when they should be going to school, educate, and go get a
Mm-hmm.
job and support a family? America is like, no, go play a sport, go do something that
Yeah,
could eventually, small percent, but you could eventually become one of the best and get paid a lot of money to do it. You
yeah,
know, our goals and dreams of what we work at are different from Europe, I can see.
oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
Like, like in Italy, soccer is a big sport, right?
Mm-hmm. Soccer is, yeah.
So I feel like parents there will pay more for soccer stuff or soccer
Yeah.
practice or soccer clubs than softball or baseball or whatever other sport there is. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, We do we have a really young team. I think it's like 10 and under, and we actually have I want to say it's like 15 girls that come out, and then we have like an older team. So it's definitely they're trying to funnel the girls into, play softball, practice, so you can be on the national team. Like in my club it's big. But I know that's different in other places as well.
Hmm. Now, with you playing in Italy and Australia,
Hmm.
and because schedules are, you're very, I don't know how to say it, just not as often games and practices. Like in
Yeah.
Australia, when I've always tried, it's like, yeah, like you can come in, you can find a part-time job and then come and play. Is that the same thing in Italy and
No. So in
Australia?
Italy, they'll pay you. You get your
Okay.
stipend each month. They pay for your
Oh,
housing, food money, your gym membership, cell phone. So,
okay.
and it's also the visa we're on. We're on a sports visa out here in Italy. So we're not able to get a job even if we wanted to.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But being an import, they're like helping you with your
Yeah.
season as far as finances, living, food,
Yes.
meals, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So I think Italy's probably, from what I've heard, it's one of the countries that pays the most. Um,
Yeah,
so,
that's what I
like when
heard
you're
too.
talking in teams, yeah. I mean, yeah. Honestly, compared to the contract I first had to sign when I went out to spring training, which would have been my contract for the whole season if I didn't get hurt, it's basically the same thing that I'd make out there in the US.
Wow. See,
I
I'm
mean,
not
like,
making.
don't get me wrong, the US doesn't pay much, so, don't be thinking it's a lot, but
Oh no, I don't
like
worry.
when
I've
when you're
been
comparing
in
it, I'm
this,
like, that's the same.
but as far as what is normal minimum wage for a professional baseball player compared to what
Hmm.
you get paid here in Czech, it's not even close. Like
Yeah.
I could be in the US with better competition and better pay, but then your living expenses are
Hmm.
more. Your
Hmm.
lifestyle is more costly, whereas here you're really getting a couple $100 and they'll take care of, some meals.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
lifestyle, the cost of living is way cheaper.
Oh yeah, it's so
And
cheap here.
but I will say the culture is just better. The people are nicer. There's hardly any
Yeah.
politics around. I don't know. I feel there's just a simple way of living here. I don't know if that's in Italy,
Yeah.
but you're also in a smaller village too, just like me, where I
Hmm.
can walk around the whole city within an hour. Um,
Yeah.
but it's
No, for
it's
sure.
totally different. There's the pros and cons, of course. Um,
Hmm.
but for me, as far as just being an import and getting to travel, that's all I was looking for. I know for you, maybe your priorities are a little different
I'm
because you're
yeah, my
younger.
priorities are completely opposite, I think. Yeah.
Because you're younger, you're starting your career. Like you want to play at the highest
Yeah.
level, of course, and
Yeah.
get back into one of the USA teams. But this is just a stepping stone, and best part is you get to
It
travel,
is.
right? So,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I always say like I'm definitely not where I want to be, but I'm so blessed and thankful for where I am. Like God really did bless me. Especially, I mean,
amen.
I tore my Achilles and I was healed within 6 months, and a week later just praying, God, please help me, please help me. I don't know what team's gonna want me after I just tore my Achilles. That's not
Hmm.
something you come back from really easily. And then Maturana reaches out again, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. Like, that's not where I want to be, but this is perfect for what I need right now.
Now, did you need surgery? And you came back six
I
months
did.
later.
Yes. I when I say like it was God's blessing. It was nothing I did. Because I mean that's a whole year that they quoted me. And they told me like the
Hmm.
fastest person to recover from it is like Kobe Bryant. He did 5 months. And I
Yeah.
remember my surgeon telling me like, he's like, I think we can get you back, around 8, 9. He's like, Kobe did it in 5. I was like, I'm not Kobe Bryant. I don't have the money, the resources. I don't have the
Right.
doctors, the training. Like,
You got all these things going through
but
your
yeah,
head and
it's crazy. So like I tore it. I just I took a step. I went to catch a fly ball, just took a step and it popped, but it didn't hurt. I kind of just fell and I was
You
like, what's
just
going on? They're
collapsed
like, I
because
don't
of
know, you fell
shit.
down. Yeah, I just collapsed. And they're like, I don't know, you fell, get up. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So I get up and I'm walking
Couldn't
on
walk.
it. The trainer looks at it. She goes, oh, it's a sprain. I was like, okay, yeah, like it doesn't hurt that bad. It's probably a sprain. I was walking on it for a whole day afterwards. I was like, I mean, I went home to the hotel. I like iced it. I was like, okay, yeah, it's not bad. Like I wasn't even stressed about it. It's like for sure a sprain. I'll tape it tomorrow. I'm fine for the rest of spring training. And then I get a call from our GM at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, something like that. He's like, hey, like, how's it feeling? I was like, yeah, it's good. He's like, okay, I want you to go see my physical therapist. He's gonna like, get you right before practice. Like, awesome, perfect. I'm driving and it's on my right foot. So that's like, my foot, I'm pressing the
Yeah, like you
pedals. And
have
like
to,
if you know anything
and
about like
you,
your torn Achilles, like you're not supposed to be able to do this when it's torn. And like it was I remember it being very painful to drive. But I was like,
hmm
this is definitely a sprain. If it was torn, if it was something serious, I would not be able to walk. I couldn't drive. And the physical therapist, he's like, okay, I think it's just like a muscle cramp, actually, like, what you're explaining. I was like, okay, cool. I and then he just does like, the test on it and he's like he stops and I just see his face goes white. He's like, I think you should go get an MRI. And I was like, no, like I'm fine. Like I have practice in 2 hours. He's like, no, like I want you to go get an MRI right now. And then he starts kind of crying. And so I start worrying. So I'm like, oh my God, like I have like another week and a half to make it through spring training. Like I have to like my contract to go into effect. Am I gonna be fine? And he starts crying, like tears coming. This like
he's
grown
crying
man
for
starts
you.
crying. Yeah, so I'm like, he's like, you're gonna be fine. Just know you're gonna be fine. So then I'm like, so I start driving myself to the hospital. Our team surgeon's there. He looks at it. He's like, yep, it's torn. Like the MRI is just gonna confirm this. And my first thought was because I'm not in pain. I'm walking around in my hotel room. I was like swinging my bat. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like maybe I won't be able to field today, but I'm fine. And I look up and was like, can we just tape it? Like I got practice in an hour. And he's like, that's not how it works though. I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. I'm fine. So yeah, I mean, did the surgery, and then 6 months later, I get cleared, and now I'm
Yeah,
playing. So truly blessed.
that's an amazing recovery. Yeah, you might be one of
Yeah,
two other than Kobe Bryant to come back before 6 months or 6 months max.
yeah. I, I mean, and you wouldn't even be able to know. I barely notice it. I mean, there's times where it's sore, but it's perfectly fine.
I mean, 40 years ago, what we would have done is
Hmm.
tape it up. You know, it's what we had. We had tape.
Yep.
Maybe not me. I'm not 40 yet, but back in the day when technology wasn't the best and, guys were gritting it out
Yeah.
to play no matter what, you
Yeah.
tape it up, you find a way, and you take some painkillers, and you're back out on the field until your body literally can't move anymore. And that's kind of what you
Yeah.
did.
Absolutely. I mean,
You
like
just needed a 6 month
that's what I was
break,
trying to do.
you know.
I just had grown men telling me, nope, you can't just tape it up. It's you actually have to recover from this.
Well, you
But
definitely
yeah,
got that strong growth mindset on you. Like no matter what, I'll be back. Even
yeah,
though you may not think it, like shoot, I got a year, I got possibility of
yeah,
playing elsewhere, and continuing my career. You still found a way mentally, physically to
yeah,
fucking make miracles happen. You know,
yeah.
that's
God's plan always
and
for sure.
and you got your master's
I
or getting
actually I
it.
have five. No, I have like 5 degrees actually.
All right,
So
she's a book nerd. Fuck. I got
I
one.
am. So
That's all I'm
here's the
good
thing though.
for. But I love
Softball
reading
was
and
paying for it.
studying.
I'm gonna get it. Softball's paying. I'm gonna get it. As long as they pay. Because I
Yeah.
was 6 years in college because I took a redshirt year and a COVID year.
And COVID. Yeah.
And I watched my dad and my godfather. They both played football in college. My godfather turned pro eventually, but that runs out. Then the money runs out, so he needed a job. He didn't finish his degree.
Yeah.
Same with my dad. He didn't make it to the NFL. He didn't finish his degree. So for me, they were very big on me, like, you're not gonna be like us. You're a good athlete, but you better
But
get
you're
your
gonna
degree
get an
because
education.
softball will run out eventually.
Well,
Absolutely, and it's
you
paid off for me. So
well you didn't get one. You got what, six? You said
five. So I have
five.
2 associates, a bachelor's, and 2 masters.
What are they all in?
So associates are psych and science of social behavior. Bachelor's is a BA in psych. Master's is rehab counseling, emphasis on like substance abuse, and then
Okay.
health and wellness management.
Yeah, okay, so out of all those five,
Yeah.
which one would you go after more? Like as far as a career after softball?
Um,
Because right
I think,
now, I'm just gonna say
yeah,
mental performance is coming back around and it's becoming bigger
it
again.
is.
And
It's
I have a
huge.
mental
It is
performance
huge.
coach. I can refer him to
Yeah.
you if you've ever heard of Brian Kane. That was his mentor. Um,
Yeah.
but you got the master's in psych, right?
Yeah. So the
So,
thing about my counseling was I have to get certified in whatever state I'm in. So because I got it in New York, I have to pass like my CRC and then I have to go through whatever state. So I think once I'm done playing, that's the route I'll go. I'll get my certification, do my internship hours, and be certified in my state.
so you would have to move to NY
No,
because
could
you'd
move
only be
anywhere.
certified there. How does
Yes,
that work? Like if
technically
you're,
right now,
go
but I
ahead.
wouldn't. I can move, to different state and just go through their certification programs,
See, I think it's
which means more
bullshit.
schooling.
I think it's total bullshit how we somehow separate every state that you have to be certified in that state in order to work when you
Yeah,
took the time, took the money to be a master at that profession. All of a sudden, you're teaching the same shit in every state. So to me, it doesn't make
it's
any
crazy.
fucking sense. That
No, it's
same,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, psychology. Maybe the only other one would be maybe like if you're a real estate agent. Like yes, every state has different laws on housing and
Yeah,
property, but psychology, you're a professional of the human mind
yeah.
body soul connection, and you're literally teaching the same shit. You're just maybe dealing with different problems, in different states.
Yeah, that's like so I'm a teacher back home too. Like when I'm in the States, I teach and I'll like waitress at night just to, build up my money for whenever I have to go play season. But even
So
I'm certified in Texas to teach, but then I was looking like, oh, I kind of want to move to Nashville because my sister's out there. My little sister goes to Ole Miss, so it's not too far. I was like, I have to go through all the certification again, and
Music
I don't know if I
City,
want to do that.
yeah.
I know, yeah.
Like I don't get our country. I like only being here 5 weeks. I don't know if I ever want to move back because of
Really?
what we've gone through in the last 4 years and where it
Yeah.
looks like we're headed, where I should say that country's headed. Um, so it's frustrating, but again, we got to control the controllables and do what we can that makes us happy and
Yeah.
joyful and abundant. So, um, but it just sucks to see someone that works so hard. You you can't just move to a state that you want and just start
Hmm.
practicing, what you want. You have to go through a whole course of stuff in order to get certified, just to teach the same stuff.
Yeah. It's
Like,
interesting. Yeah. I don't know.
no,
Sounds like you
no,
need to get your European passport then if you want to stay over there.
yeah, I got to do something or marry somebody or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
We'll figure it out when the time comes. But right now, I'm just enjoying. I'm just enjoying my time, really learning the culture, trying to learn Czech, which is literally one of the
I was
hardest
gonna say, do you
languages
speak
ever.
any? Can you speak any?
Uh, I can speak a little bit. I know some phrases. Dobrý den is like good day.
Yep. Good day.
Pivo prosim, beer please, which is huge here. Everyone
Yes.
drinks beer here, and the beer is amazing here. Um,
Yeah.
Děkuji is thank you. Um,
Dobro no. Good night. Juice beat you.
yeah.
What's up, bitches?
See, yeah, picho. Picho is like bitches.
Yeah.
Um, Velmi dobrý is very good.
Yeah.
Jak se máš
So
is how are you?
You're
Yeah,
learning. Yeah.
but when they speak it, it's still hard for me to understand.
Oh, is it so
Whereas
fast too? Yeah.
it's fast. the different accents, the different sounds of a C or an
Yeah.
R when you got the little V accent thing going. So Italian, a little better. Italiano, like you could speak almost American Italian from New York and you could get away with it. Or they might
Oh,
tease the
that's so
fuck
funny.
out of you. So,
Okay, yeah. So actually, my nonna and papa, they're Italian from Italy, like off the boat, Italian. So my mom's first generation. They're from New York, so my mom's a New Yorker. So she speaks like that New York Italian, like, it's
mm-hmm.
fake.
Yep.
But, luckily for me, my nonna and papa, they taught me as much as they could. So I come out here and there's things like, like a chicken cutlet,
Uh-huh.
how like Italian Americans love their cutlets. Like I come out here and I want a cutlet and I say something to my teammates is like, I'm gonna make some chicken cutlets tonight. Like, what are you talking about? Because here it's like it just translates to fried chicken, how they
Uh,
say it. So it's
mm-hmm.
completely different. So it's so funny.
But the language barrier for you isn't as difficult because you were kind of taught it. Did you take it as a language in
Yeah.
school?
No, actually, I learned Spanish all growing up.
Everyone learns
My
Spanish.
nonna was very big on us. No, no, listen, our nonna is very big on us learning Spanish because, we're from California. Everyone speaks Spanish out there. And her,
hmm
coming to a country, not knowing the language, she was very big on us. Like, everyone around here speaks Spanish. You need to learn Spanish because at least you need to be able to like ask people, talk to them, in their language. She was very big on that. So I learned Spanish. I mean, I'm not fluent by any means, but, I'm pretty
But
good at it.
you could go a far
Um,
ways.
I mean, I could probably go to Mexico and I'm going to be fine.
Oh yeah.
So, but it's similar to Italian. Some stuff's really similar, some stuff's completely different. So for me, I'm picking it up pretty quickly, I'd say.
So the cool part about Italian, which you reminded me, I got to um, we were in Prague playing the Temple Praha team, the Titans,
Yeah.
and his autograph is right there on my baseball, but I can't think of a freaking name. But he was a catcher for the Yankees, and now he's one of the coaches for the national Italian teams, like the young, like
Hmm.
15s or 18s. What's his
Yeah.
name? You gotta know. Who's that Italian catcher?
Nope.
Yes, you do.
I don't know.
Come on.
I'm
Vercelli.
sorry.
You know if I. It's not Jorge Posada. Yankee, Yankee catcher. Not Trevine, Yankee catcher retired. Let's see. Not, no. We're gonna find it. We're gonna take the extra minute on this podcast to find it. Former Yankee catchers. Francisco Cervelli. Fuck.
Mm.
You never heard of him?
Nope.
Oh shit. I know you've
I'm
seen
not
him.
really, I don't really watch baseball that often
I
to
know,
know
but you had
people's
to have
names like
seen
that.
him.
I'm sure my papa's got a picture of him somewhere
Maybe,
in the
yeah,
office.
maybe your
He's a big
papa? No,
Yankees
because.
guy. Yeah,
Alright,
I'm
well,
sure they know.
anyways. It was just a side thought that I had when we were talking Italian, and
Yeah,
I got to meet a former Yankee and get his autograph. So it's Francisco
that's pretty cool.
Cervelli. And I thought he was just Italian, not from Italia, from Italy. So when I
Mm-hmm.
went to meet him and say hi, I spoke English, and then you just hear a really strong Italian accent, not the best English. I'm like, oh shit, he's actually fucking real Italian, you know.
Yeah, he's
So
like Italian, Italian.
yeah, and that was cool. That was really cool to me. So
Yeah.
little little side note that I thought was cool to me. I always now I'm at the end. I wish I did this earlier from the start of my career, but now I'm two things that I'm doing. I'm keeping the first hit of every new team that I play for, and I'm
Hmm.
not afraid to ask big leaguers for autographs that I don't have.
Yeah,
And I wish, starting my career in affiliate ball with the Diamondbacks, I wish I, got countless autographs with a lot of former
yeah,
teammates or guys I saw in spring training. But we learn as we go. Oh, and another thing, I wish I kept every jersey from every team that I played because I would have like 17 or 18 jerseys.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
See,
I've
I
been
was
on,
never like that. I've always been like, oh, I'm done with this team. Whoever wants it can have
no,
it.
see, I think side note for other professional athletes in your career, find something that you could keep from every team. You could put on your man cave or award shelf as
Yeah,
memorabilia from your athletic legacy. Because
yeah.
now, like when I'm 80, I want to be able to look at my wall, share stories with grandkids and kids, and be like, "This
Hmm.
is what I did. I hope, and I want to inspire them. Be like, I hope yours is bigger."
Yeah,
So,
that's
so
cute.
that's what I'm trying to do now. A little behind
Yeah,
the ball, but I'm trying to catch up. Now,
never too late then.
no, obviously not. So, you're a third baseman. Is your first position? What was your
Um,
first position?
yeah, I mean, third base. I mean, that's what I played all through college. Out here, I'm like catcher, second, outfield,
Okay,
third.
so utility, you
Australia,
can
I
do it
pitched a
all.
little bit. Yeah, yeah, utility. Like
What's
Australia
your
was a
favorite?
pitcher for a little bit. So third base, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
hot corner, you're playing in. Um, have you ever made Sports Center or thought you should
no.
have?
Mm,
Or do
yes,
you just
there
make
was a
third
few
base look
plays.
so easy? It's like
Not
she's
even close.
too
Not
good.
even
Like she
close.
doesn't
There
make
was
the
a
cool
few.
plays.
Not even close. I mean, there was a few times. Like I think I had a big home run when I was at Buffalo against like LSU, who's like top whatever. I thought that
Hmm.
maybe that would get me something. I mean, wasn't because I mean, at least that one was on ESPN. But throughout my college, like we never really played on TV or anything, so
Right,
nothing's ever
right.
recorded. So it's like
Well,
even if you make something cool, you're
shouldn't
like, ah,
say
well,
that.
nothing's coming
You're
of it.
you're
So
living in a whole new era now where everything is recorded
yes,
somewhere somehow. It's just
that is true.
it's just there's the more money teams and whatnot. So
Yeah,
like if you played on Oklahoma with Jocelyn Allo, you would have been, recognized big
yeah.
time. Or in
I
Florida
mean,
or
here's the
Alabama
thing.
or
Yeah, it is like the bigger teams you go, the more recognition you're gonna get. And Jocelyn, she's like one of my best friends. I train with her when I'm back in
no
Texas.
way.
I do, yes. And like when I say she is the nicest person I have ever met before, like she deserves everything she gets because she is just that type of person that will give blessings to others. Like my first day I met her, we train and then we go to the batting cages across the street and I have like my college bat. And college and pro series are different bats. And she's like,
Right.
"Is
And
this
she's
what you
like, what is this
use?"
shit? She's like, what is this shit?
Well, she's like,
Fucking
"Is
swing
this what you
this.
use?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You don't have a pro one?" I was like, "No, like, like I'm not sponsored. I'm not gonna buy a $500 bat." She's like, "I'll get you one."
Yeah.
And so she just gets me one. And then, she before I come out here, she texted me like, "Hey, what equipment do you need?" And I was like, "No, no, I'm
Yeah.
good."
See,
But she's like, "Give
she's
me another bat." I mean, she is probably the most humble, amazing, sweetest, hardworking person I've ever met.
I will say that is due to the Hawaiian culture. We're both from Hawaii,
Yes.
so praise to a fellow Hawaiian out there, Jocelyn, who I also got a chance to meet last year with the Banana Tour. She came out to OKC.
Yeah, yeah, she
Party
did do that
Animals
series.
that I was on, we struck her out on her debut. But this year she got some revenge, and I saw from a Instagram post that she finally got her first hit as a banana.
She did. I think it was like down in Fresno. I was so happy for her. I
Yeah.
was like, yes.
So that is so dope that I don't keep in touch with her. I don't have her contact info. She's too popular on social media to slide in the DMs and try to keep in touch, professional athlete to professional athlete. But um, from what I've known, she's the nicest girl, amazing
Yeah.
talent. But I don't know where her career's at. Like, did she sign with a softball team and she's just making a little thing
Yeah.
with the
No,
bananas?
so she actually signed, she like made history this summer. So yeah, she's like first one for Savannah Bananas. She's playing in AUX, which is like the pre games to the championship series for Athletes Unlimited. So that's like one of the leagues. And then she plays for Oklahoma City. That's like her other professional team. And then she also made Team USA. So she's coming out to Italy for Worlds. So I mean, she's just like got like
Right.
four teams
She's
she's playing
killing
with
it.
this
Yeah,
year. Yeah, she's just
she's a
doing
name
Jocelyn
to be
Allen
reckoned
things.
with and a person to have
Yeah,
around because she's that kind of a person. She's amazing and
exactly. She is.
genuine and real and doesn't care about the flashy stuff, just wants to take care of people, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
she's
now
amazing.
now I know she's your friend, but do you see her as a role model or like who's your softball role model?
Um, okay, so when I initially walked into the gym for like first day training and I saw her there, and I first I kind of thought I might be a little starstruck, but then she comes up to me, she shakes my hand, she's like, "Hey, I'm Jocelyn Allen." I'll be like, "Yeah, no shit, I know who you are. I watch you break the home run record. Like I know who
Yeah.
you are." Um, and I'll talk to her about softball stuff. We talk about like hitting, mentalities, everything. But I don't know if I'd say I have a softball idol I want to look up to because in my mind, I'm like, I want a different career from everyone. I don't want to be the same. If anything, I always want to be better.
Right.
If I get to that level, I'm not sure. I always try my hardest to. So, I mean, I don't think I have a softball role model that I look up to in any way like that.
Okay. Fair enough, because you want to become the role model for others. You want to
Yeah.
be your own.
Like, I'm going to be my own person. I don't want them to be like, oh, that's like the next so and so, or that's,
Right.
I'm like, nope, I'm different.
Okay, now what about this question? A little twist on it. What softball player inspires you to be better, to grow, to be your own star?
Um,
Or I shouldn't say softball player, I should say athlete or
okay,
celebrity
yeah.
or family member, whatever.
I would say I'm gonna say Jesus Christ because that's, I want to try to be the best human as can. I always want to try to give love and light to others. And, just try to help people strengthen their faith. So I guess that's
Hmm.
who inspires me, if I'm being honest. I don't know if I
Fair
look up to
enough.
an athlete and
He's
like, you know what, I want to be just like them. I want like, they're inspiring me to work harder. Jesus is.
fair enough. He's our almighty Lord and Savior, and he
Amen.
literally, I still don't get it. And as much as I try to wrap my mind around it, the
Yeah.
plans that he had for us, the plans he has for us,
Yeah.
like our lives, I don't get it, but our lives are set. Obviously, we still have the willpower to make our own de decisions and choices. But then you
Yeah.
start thinking like, well, did I really make that choice, or did God put it in me like I wasn't choosing from the beginning? So either way, our plans are set. Now it's just
Yeah.
how can we live and live in His light, live in His love, and praise Him with the gifts that He's given us. And that's what
Yeah.
I try to focus on is like, you know what?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do everything I can in my power with the gifts I've been given from Him, um, and just live the best life I can be as a kind, genuine person.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then we also pray and we ask for more and more and more. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I remember in
it's so
Australia,
interesting.
I got like I put myself in a bad place like mentally. Like I was just, being overseas, it's great and all sometimes, but it's very isolating. And then for
Hmm.
me also like knowing I was coming back to the US to go to spring training, like, I'm about to live my dream if I make this team, whatever, about to accomplish it. So that was putting a lot more stress on myself. And I remember one day I was just like, I'm broke. I don't know what I'm doing in Australia. I don't really want to be here anymore. Like, I'm just pissed off. And I'm Catholic. So I went to church and I was like, I need to go do a confession. And the pastor's like, or father's like, what do you expect to confess? I was like, my life is a joke. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm trying to do, but I can't do it. Like, I feel like I'm not good enough, all this stuff. And he's like, you just got to focus on, working hard, your relationship with God, and surrounding yourself with good people. Because if you're not doing any of those, you won't live your life how Jesus wanted you to. So, like, ever since that day, those three things, like, I have it on my wall anywhere I go. I'll write those three things down, and like that's what I try to do every day.
Yep. I mean, I read a devotional and it's basically the same message every day, but for some reason,
Yeah,
whatever I'm going through the day before or that morning, that message that day I read is like meant for me,
yeah,
and I don't
yeah.
fucking get it. Um,
You're just like, oh my God, how'd you know?
yeah, or I
It's
mean,
so good.
but like almost every message is just a matter of no matter what's going on, try it, do your best to keep your
Yeah,
focus on Jesus and the
yeah,
love that
absolutely.
he's given us. Like if you're gonna do something, do it wholeheartedly with the same love that Jesus has for us.
Yeah, for sure. Especially not like with sports, because sports is so stressful and you try to, be perfect. But it's remembering like, okay, he has a plan for me. There's nothing I can do on the field that's gonna change that. And also
Right,
like I don't need a certain batting average to get into heaven one day. Like that's
right,
what I think when I go up to bat. I'm like, well, whatever happens, he still loves me. So I'm
right.
just gonna try my best and see what happens.
He's given you the skills. He's given you the
Yeah,
opportunities to prepare, and when it's game time, you just do your absolute
yeah,
best. And that's all like
yeah,
you can control is your attitude and effort.
for sure.
So,
Absolutely.
um, what are your outside of softball? You know, since it baseball and softball, it's a failing sport. You know, so it can suck at
Yes,
times. But you know,
yes.
with our faith, we get back to being a little more grounded. But outside of that, what other hobbies do you have? Like either when you're
Um,
home, obviously when you're in Italy, it's
yeah,
trying new foods and sightseeing.
yeah. Um, well, like I said, I'm a teacher. I love to teach. I love my kids. Because I go overseas, I can't be a permanent teacher yet. So I go to
Elementary
different
teacher, high school
classrooms when they need
teacher.
me. I do it all. So like I'm certified for high school, K, no, first through 12th, I'm certified
Okay.
for. But I'll do like ESL tutoring, so English second language tutoring. Um, but I love the young ones, like first, second grade. That's what I love. Um, so I love to do that. I love walks, getting coffee. Yeah, that's it basically. Going to church. Pretty basic stuff, to be honest.
Outdoorsy girl, like hiking,
I am. Beach,
beach,
like
fishing.
anything, a water, yes. Anything with water, I'm there. Like paddleboarding, I'll try surfing. I'm not very good at it, so I'm gonna fall a lot.
Same
Fishing, I
here.
love
Don't worry.
to.
I'm a native
Yeah,
native Hawaiian and I can't surf, so don't worry
yeah.
about
But yeah, anything with water, that's where I'm at.
it. Okay, now what about favorite foods? Italian?
Foods. Okay. Yes, I grew up on Italian food. Like that's all we ate growing up is pastas and like everything Italian. So I would say like Italian food's always gonna be the first. Next is probably like Mexican food. Love Mexican food.
I can agree with that because chips and salsa, chips and guac,
Yeah, some
easy.
tacos, like
Oh,
enchiladas,
street.
everything.
My favorite tacos, street tacos. If you can find street tacos
Yeah,
anywhere, get them.
I will say Brazilian food is up there though too. I used to work at this Brazilian restaurant, and certain days they would make food for us, and oh my goodness, so good, so good.
Yeah, see, working in the restaurant industry is so great because then you get the amazing chefs make you food to take home or for your break or
Yeah, I would say
and
it's
then you're
degrading. I
making
hate
pretty
it.
good money
I
with
mean,
tips, so
you make good money. I hate it though. It's so degrading. You
well,
have
yeah, because people
customers
are entitled
thinking they can
nowadays.
talk
They
to.
don't, yeah,
Oh my, it's so. I mean, I worked in a restaurant right before I came here, and it's great because I can make $500-600 in a weekend. I'm making my whole rent in 4 days.
easy money.
But I'm having people yell at me because I put too much pepper on their salad. And I tell them like, tell me when to stop, or
Yeah,
someone's soda was too flat. Oh, I hate it, but I always go back to it. I waitressed all through college, like all through college, and I
good
hated
for
it.
you.
But it's
But you
the
did what
money's
you
good,
needed
and I
to
only have to
do.
work a few
Yeah,
days. I
yep.
it's like the only job I was able to work with classes and practice, because you're
But it
waitressing
also
and
helps,
bartending at night.
and it also helps you with people skills. I mean, it
Oh,
helps you
yeah,
with
no, I feel like I can
patience,
talk to
helps
anyone
you with
for sure.
grace, courage,
Yeah,
just public
everything.
speaking in general. So that's
Yeah,
really cool.
absolutely.
Now, my
Thanks.
last two questions
Okay.
is, you got one right now. I thought I had another one. Let's just do my one. All right.
Okay.
What is your biggest goal slash dream
Okay.
to accomplish in life?
Okay. I think for me, it's like two parts because I have like my dreams on the field. Like I want to go to Olympics
Mm-hmm.
eventually. I want to play for Team
Ooh,
Italy.
I like
I'm
that.
working on getting my passport for them. Yes, growing up with uh, my mom, my nonna and papa, they're big inspirations for me. And I always say like I'm a strong woman because I came from very strong women, strong Italian women. So working on my
Quick
passport.
side question.
Yes,
Could you, with an Italian background, could you play for Team Italy instead of Team
yeah, yeah.
USA?
So while I'm here, I'm gonna get my passport, my Italian passport, through
Okay.
descendants.
Okay,
So,
continue on.
yeah, Olympics is definitely the goal professional for as long as I can, but also I think it's just to help people as much as I can and just like don't give up on your life, on yourself, on nothing, just kind of bring people towards Jesus. Because there was a time in my life when I was at Buffalo, when I was going through it so bad, like I didn't even want to be here anymore. Like I was gonna take myself out of it for sure. And I had like one night, long story short, I thought I was dying that night. I like cried out to Jesus. I was healed in the morning. I was perfectly fine in the morning. And ever since then, that's like when my faith really started being strong. So because
Hmm.
of that, what happened to me, I'm like, okay, if that happened to me, it's happening to others. So I'm going to try to help them as much as possible because life is so beautiful, no matter what you're going through. That's so worth living.
Amen to that. And is that because of that, you got into psych and started to learn the mind and how to
Mm,
find
no,
ways to help people?
I'm, for me, I just chose psych because I knew it would be an easy major and I could do while playing softball.
That's almost what
If
every
I'm being a
football player
thousand
did
percent
when I was
honest.
going to school. They were like psych or
Yep.
sociology.
Yeah, exactly. And then I did my master's in counseling and health and wellness just because I was like, oh, I actually kind of like it. I'll make a career out of it one day.
Hey, fair enough. You're honest. Did it for that easy
Yes.
grade because most of us we don't like school.
But you know
Um,
what? Buffalo psych is like the top
one of the
program
top
there,
programs
and it
there.
was hard. And it's like one of the top in the nation, and it was hard. And I was lied to by my coach for that. Like it was tough.
I just don't know what's so tough about learning about the mind. Like learning psych should be
When you
people
have your
skills,
professor,
you know.
my
Unless you got
professors
a
are like
unless you
the
got a
top
teacher.
researchers in the world. Yes, like my professors, they're all the top researchers in the world for psychology in their department. They're the ones like they wrote the textbooks that we're reading. They're doing the experiments that we have to like write a paper on. That's what was tough about it.
Yeah, and so their expectations and grading is
Yeah.
like, oh, if you're not
Yeah.
doing
So if you're
this,
like trying to
even though you could be
exactly.
right, it's like, no, sorry,
Yeah. And
you
like if you're
failed.
trying to cite something, you cite something wrong, like where was this? I was like, it was somewhere in the textbook. Like, no, it's not. I know for a fact because I wrote this textbook. And I was like, oh my goodness,
Yeah,
okay. I'm sorry.
that's tough. But you got through it. Look at where you're at now. Alicia, you're
Yeah.
killing it in softball. I'm happy
Thank
for
you.
you. I hope I can come play in Italy somehow. Hopefully BBJL or in God's plan gets me there
Yeah.
because it's what I want to do as far as playing baseball for a couple more years overseas and travel. Because my affiliate time, unfortunately, has left. Um, Grateful for it, and due to my age, making it back, maybe a 1% miracle. Um, but you're just starting. You're killing it, overcoming much adversity with the Achilles 6 months. I mean, only you and Kobe. Like to be in the same realm as Kobe, that's pretty fucking good. Um, but one last thing, Alicia, where can people find you and follow you and support you and, follow this God God journey with you? What are your socials?
You cut out. What did you say? Sorry.
What are your socials? I'm trying to ask
Oh,
where can
social
people follow
is
you?
just
Follow this
ALIC.
God-given journey.
Thank you. I'm like really only active on Instagram, so it's ALICIAX Peters, PETERS, and that's it.
Hey, or you can Google her, guys. I'm assuming you got a LinkedIn probably, and you're also on BBJL, which is a public
Yeah,
platform. Now
that's
you're
true.
on the
Yes.
No Filter Network, the best
Yes.
podcast platform, unfiltered, of course. So thanks to my people at Unfiltered. Thank you, Alicia. Let's keep in touch.
Of course.
I wish you nothing but the best, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Same to
joining the
you.
show. It's Peeling the Banana, episode 22. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Alicia. Y'all have a fantastic day. Bye bye.
Bye.